everyone? Garrett Farrington here with Talking Cards with Garrett, and today I'm talking about winning the Eagle X Beta Alt Tournament, which was complete set 1. You could use anything that's coming out this Friday, and it was a real exciting tournament to be a part of because you just never know what anyone's going to bring to the table. And essentially, I brought the you don't know what someone's going to bring to the table deck because I was one of two with these two colors. So I'm going to show you guys today pretty much what I played and what was different from everything else that was in the room that day. So we'll start with the reason to play the deck, which is Wing Gundam 0. This card's pretty much just insane. It might be the biggest unit in the game once it gets a hero attached. It's probably this in Shambo. I don't know how you pronounce that. But there's a red card that's really highly statted as well. But this card pretty much, when it comes into play, it deals 3 damage to all level 5s and lower, including your own. So you take that in when you're playing it. Like, you have to make sure you're trading optimally. And this card just allows you to pretty much get card advantage. Like blue-white, which is the most popular deck right now, can be up in cards, but if you destroy 2 to 3 cards with 1 card, that means you just got plus card economy. So I think it's things like that is what you're looking to do with this deck because we don't have draw cards really. We go even. So next we have Wing Gundam. This is the smaller version of this guy. It has Breach 5 to take out nice bases, but the best thing it can do is it can attack level 4 or lower bodies and help you control the board. This is great because once you're ahead, it keeps you ahead. Next, we have one of the more cooler cards to me of set 1, which is Gundam Death Scythe. This card gets first strike with an Operation Meter Pilot paired with it, as well as ramping you a resource. Crazy. I don't know why it has all these effects. It is awesome. It is easily probably the second best card in the deck to Gundam 0. Like, it is fantastic. Why 3? Well, I don't know if 4 is worth it yet. It is insanely good, and 4 could be the play, and that's definitely something we're going to talk about at the end here. So that's a little prelude for you all. Next is Ale Strike. This is just probably the best blocker in the game. You attach a pilot to it, you get to lift I believe it's a 4 HP. Yeah, 4 HP. Any unit with 4 HP you can lift to your opponent's hand. So it just helps you control board while establishing a blocker, and if you attach Kira Yamato to it, you can even rush in and, you know, take out a unit, and if you have Archangel, make so many trades. It's an insane card. Next is Perfect Strike. Insane for a lot of similar reasons, except it only lifts an HP 1, but it does that effect all the time. And that's something you have to be privy to. Because if you have 5 damage on a character and it has 6 health, it has to lift it. This is not like some other Bandai games where it's a choice. Everything in Gundam so far that we've seen is a mandatory effect. So next we have Wing Gundam, Bird Mode. This little guy here. Let me tell you about this guy. This guy's insane. He just ramps you for no reason and can swing into little bodies, or even more critical is your Wing Gundam turns. This is gonna die anyways. So always either poke at a base or poke into a character that has more than 3 health that you are trying to remove with Wing Gundam 0. This little guy will also help you get to the Wing Gundam 0 faster. And I also think sometimes, and this is where play lines start to come in and what the situation of the game is, but if you attach a hero to Wing Gundam, there's nothing wrong with that. That's a 5/4 body that you got for nothing that really advanced game state for you and can just be a body that takes 2 characters. And if they want to deal with that, before you even get to Wing Gundam 0 and you've taken 2 bodies, you are so far ahead. So it's another playline that the deck has that really offers you some creativity when you're playing it and some choice for you that you might not always want, but you have. Next, I really don't know how you say this. Maybe it's Livrith, or I don't know. That's my best bet. Livrith. I'm going with that. But it's a 2/4 blocker, level 3, cost 2. And this guy's really great. If you're going second with the resource, you get to play it turn 2. And otherwise, he's still just a great blocker with 4 health. 4 health is so important, and it gets you around 1 dying to the Gundam 0 in your own deck. It sticks. It's a very, very sticky card. Next, the reason why I think we can get away with playing the way we are is this card, Zoert. He is a 2/2/3/2 blocker that cannot attack bases but can attack the enemy units, and that allows you to pretty much make positive exchanges. We play that early in the game, and it might sit there all till we are about to play Wing Gundam 0. And they have rested characters that have more than 3 HP every time this is a swinging into it. Or if they swing anything with more than 3 HP, we are blocking to give that 3 damage and set up a Wing Gundam 0 clear. And that's what is so good about this card. Next, we have our pilots. We have Hero, the main man. He is definitely here to link with the Wing Gundam 0 or Wing Gundam or the Wing Gundam bird mode. And none of them are wrong. It just depends on the situation which one's right. You would be probably surprised if you went back at the tournament run and looked at how often I did not link with Wing Gundam 0. I just think Wing Gundam 0 already gives you so much value. I don't even have to waste a card to get more value from it. Sometimes it is totally the correct play, but there's other times where you need to get more value of your Wing Gundam bird mode, or your Wing Gundam and needs to just come in here and immediately do something. So that's another thing to note. Next, we have Duo. I'm on 3 Duo. 4 just on paper doesn't seem right. It only works when linked, but it can still work with Ale because Ale's effect is not procced by a link effect. So we can still pair it with Ale to remove something. But Duo when linked is really good because it does not allow Kira Yamato to reduce it or Freedom Gundams. So it's a very good into blue-white. And it really works well because it gives also the Gundam Death Scythe Rush, which with that first strike is just the most optimal pairing in the deck. Lastly, we have 3 Kira Yamato. This is obviously great with your AOs and your perfect strikes because it can come and reduce something and create a 2-for-1. However, I also really love playing this onto the Wing Gundam because if I can swing into bodies and reduce the attack, let's say there's a Liverith out there, 2 attack. That's 2 attack, this card's never taking because I'm going to swing into it, deal 5 damage to your opponent's life shield area, and then I still get to keep this at full health. And it's still at 6 attack power, so most things that attack into it, it's still going to clear. You're creating so much advantage that it's pretty ridiculous. And then next is a big decision point that probably some people will be wondering, why'd they choose those bases? And when I say they, I mean me and Ben Ferris, who really worked out this deck. We have been testing this for weeks. We had some ideas about what we thought were good, and we created, I think I sent him maybe 8 deck lists that night because I couldn't sleep and I was just thinking about this game and I had a few beers. So we got there and we thought about this and created this and really been working on it for a second. But one of the big changes was this base. And it became a 4 of because 6 health is so important when you're going against anything that's aggressive. And things like Xeon, which is unrepresented right now, I think, but will be more represented going into like regionals maybe or things like that once people start to figure out a better list for it. They can get you down so fast, and 6 health might waste 3 units to attack instead of 2 to clear or 1 to 2, and those exchanges really, really matter. So we're on 4 of that base. Lastly, we run 1 Archangel, which is really good to restand any of our blockers and create an attack into a block. We can attack, then restand, and next thing we know, we have a blocker set up. Super solid card. Lastly, we have our commands. We got 2 first contacts. Pretty self-explanatory. We're trying to ramp. We're mulliganing for ramp. In this game, I don't see a leader or anything to get any inclination of what I'm going against. So I am mulliganing for a Wing Gundam bird mode. There we go. And first contact. If I have one of those, I can play it on 3 resources and ramp and get further to my Wing Gundam 0. That's what the deck wants to do generically. Of course, if I knew what I was playing against, like in Top Cut when it was a best of 3, I can make different decision points and alter any play lines that I need to to meet what I'm playing against. But in this, you gotta go blind, because as we are imagining it right now, it's a best of one game. So lastly, we have overflowing affection. This just helps you see more cards, okay? It's a net neutral, draw 2, discard 1, and because you played it out of hand, that's technically 2 cards. So you don't gain much advantage, but it does help you see more cards. You're pretty much scrying and just going through your deck at that point, getting to the good stuff. And in this deck, you really just have to choose, what do I want to high roll for? Like, what are my best odds, and what am I playing, and how do I win this game? Once you decide that based on board state, that's what you're going for. That's what you're hoping for, and that's what you're playing for. And all those things were able to line up for me on the tournament run, and it worked out really well. And I hope to see you guys try this list and maybe even evolve this list. I don't think anything in this game is solved. It'd be wrong of me to say that. So there's like probably 1,000 other places this deck could go, and I hope you guys realize that. Now, I told you I'd tell you what would I maybe change. Maybe for this guy and one of the Searcher. There's a Project Operation Meteor card, I believe it's called. And it does for 1 cost, and it's a 5 level. It looks at the top 5 and can grab you an Operation Meteor or a G Team card, which is our Wing Gundam 0 unit or pilot. So I do think if I was to top deck that card in the later game, that just gives me so many options to create whatever playlines I need to create. Like I said, I'm gonna try to play for my best win con. Once I decide what that is, and if I was to draw that card, it helps me decide that. It can also help me reach that decision that I've already come to, like, and find it maybe a turn faster or 2 turns faster because I'm looking at 5 cards. So I think that's really important maybe. And what would I cut for it though? That's the tough part. It really depends on meta. There's a world where you could go down to 4 bases. There's a world where you could cut a Libereth. Other than that, I don't think there's much room to cut. I'd say the one card that didn't perform as much as I thought it would probably be Wing Gundam. It's really a once you're ahead card. It keeps you ahead. In this game, things can turn on its head. So it's really good to have that. I usually go against win more cards. But this doesn't even feel like a win more card, because it can also be played on curve, and it also gets around Wing Gundam 0 damaging it, which is really big. That's why we're on 6 level 6s, so we can play that ahead of time and then follow it up with the Wing Gundam 0. So we'll end there for now, and thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe and comment. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys think you got a better 50, let me see it, or say what you guys would change. I'd love to hear it. And thanks again for watching, guys. Have a good one.